Welcome, in this video we will build a beautiful animated strike-through text in Jetpack Compose. Here you can see the demo. So what we will build, this is a nice animation, and let's get started. Alright, let's start by defining the animated strike-through text composable function. Now we need to define a few parameters. First of all, we need an actual text we want to display. Then we need isVisible boolean, which defines whether the effect is visible or not. Then we also have animate on height boolean, which defines whether the animation should be played when hiding the effect, means isVisible set to false. Also we have spec of type animation spec of type int, and by default it's a twin with duration text length multiplied by 30. Then we also have a strike-through style type span style, which allows us to apply additional style modifications for the affected text. For example, we can also change the text color. Lastly, we have normal text style. By default, it's a local text style current. Now, before we jump into the implementation of the function, we need to define a utility function. It's an extension function for a string, and we'll call it build strike through. And it takes two parameters. The first one is length, and the second one is style. Actually, span style. We also use build annotated string function. And first of all, we append the text. Then we need to copy the style and make sure text decoration is set to text decoration line through. Now we apply this style by calling add style, new style from index 0 to length. Now we can come back to the function. Let's define two variables. The first one is var text to display. It's a mutable state of annotated string. Import that. This variable holds a styled annotated string which we want to display. And the second variable is length, and it's an animatable with initial value 0, type converter equal to int vector converter. Alright, now we need to process the length value changes, and we can do so by using launched effect length value. We want to set text to display to text build strike through length value and strike through style. Next we need to handle isVisible state changes, and for that we also use a launched effect. When isVisible, we want to animate the length to text length. And if it's not visible, and animate on hide is set to true, then we want to place the animation back to 0. And in else case, we just want to snap the length to 0. Lastly, we want to handle the text changes, and for that we also use a launch effect. When is visible and the text length is equal to length value, means the text has changed but its length stays the same, then we want to just rebuild our string without playing the animation. And when is visible and text length is not equal to length value, in that case we want to snap the length to a new value. And in else case, we just want to set the text to display to a simple annotated string text. Finally, we can render the text by calling text composable. Apply the modifier. And also apply the text style. Alright, we are done with the function, and let's jump into the main activity and craft a practical example. Let's create a composable to-do item. This composable takes a text, also it takes a boolean, whether it's checked, and a lambda function on checked changed. Now let's use a simple row layout. Apply the modifier. And also let's set a vertical alignment to alignment center vertically. Now we need to use a simple checkbox composable. And finally our animated strikethrough text. And let's also change a color of an affected text. For that we need to specify strikethrough style and set the color. Let's use black with some transparency. Alright, now we also need to specify a to-do items list. Finally, we can use a simple column layout to arrange our items vertically, and for each to-do item into the items list. We want to define a state variable. And finally, we need to call our to-do item. Oh, we should use by. Alright, now we are done. Let's launch the application and take a look at the result. Alright, the application has launched and we can see this cool animation. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for the channel.